The Scarab is the quintessential meme pick, the first car that comes to anyone's mind when the time calls for something a little less serious. A car with extensive history and an immediately recognisable profile. It's hard not to acknowledge the impact that this car has had on the game's culture. But why was the Scarab relegated to a meme pick of all things? And what are the reasons that this car will always be the best at its job? If you end up enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what you'd want covered next. The Scarab is an Octane hitbox which joined the Rocket League roster shortly after release in late 2015. The Scarab originally released as part of SARP, Rocket League's precursor. Its appearance is based off the insect of the same name, with a matching body shape and the wheels representing the legs. If you didn't make that connection, then congratulations, you have now. The Scarab will be 15 years old this year, making it older than all but 6 of the battle cards available. As venerable as its history may be, there's a very good reason why you don't see it playing alongside the Octane at an RLCS LAN. It's a goofy thing. Subsumed into the Octane hitbox once standardization hit, this car isn't the best fit for a cuboid hitbox. It's not even a remote fit for any of the hitboxes really, because it's basically an egg on wheels. And while incredibly tall compared to most, it's also one of the shortest bodies in the game. This means that this car features a veritable force field in front of it for collisions. Not necessarily an issue if you can play the Octane blindfolded, but it is bad enough that you wouldn't want to use it as your daily driver. Its spherical shape does make it harder to orient in the air compared to cars with more defined edges, but the clear separation between the body and the wheels actually makes the Scarab really good for flip resets. The car is well known for its engine noise, a high-pitched, rustic tune, which is sure to catch anyone's attention. In my research, I even found Reddit posts of people saying that this noise made them physically uncomfortable and made them turn game audio off for the duration of the match. So if you're a fan of psychological warfare, then this car might be for you. As much of an Octane hater as I am, it's always a lot of fun to play the Scarab. Its small size makes it feel nimble and quick, and there's something really funny about a silly little car being used super seriously. Despite its various drawbacks due to its design, it does play really well. As funny as it would be for this car to make up a significant portion of the RLCS roster, it's clearly a car from a more casual time, where you would play with a car not for its stats, but for its character. And being not only a very unique vehicle, but also a beloved classic, made the Scarab an easy shoe-in for the default meme pick for players looking to goof around wherever they may be. Despite many new contenders entering the pitch vying for that #1 spot, much like the Octane's competitive meta, nothing has yet managed to supersede the meme meta of the Scarab. So while it's definitely not meta in the traditional sense, it's still the most popular car to declare that you're not really taking your game too seriously. The Scarab has numerous advantages over any other car in this department, namely in its history and its availability. Obviously, this car has had a very long history with the esport, and that gave it a significant time advantage in solidifying its cultural position within the community. It's also free since you now acquire the battle car not too long after starting. This is a huge advantage over more modern offerings like the Nomad, which you have to pay for, or limited time vehicles like the Battle Bus, which you could only get during an event. The Scarab is also an Octane hitbox, the most common player choice, meaning that, for the most part, the gameplay is the same, which makes swapping to it less of a detriment to gameplay. This can be seen in the handful of times that pro players have switched to this car with minimal effect on their abilities. It might hinder you somewhat if you attempt to cross hitbox categories to it like I did, but for the most part it plays pretty well. Psyonix's recent push for more licensed and realistic cars also means that it's increasingly less likely as time goes on that something will be introduced to contend with the Scarab, meaning that the Scarab may well end up being one of the few options left for new players to mess around with. And that's why I think the Scarab will always be top dog. But I would love to know what you guys think. What's your meme car of choice? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.